Hi, I'm Kevin Mann.
And I'm Sam Chaplin.
I host the Attitude Era podcast.
And I haven't seen any films.
And welcome to Cinema Swirl. Hello everyone and welcome to Cinema Swirl, episode number 8.
Yeah.
Kinda, more or less. It's one of those. Well, don't worry, it's a sign that it's a war wound now. It's a sign you're a proper podcast. People, this you may or may not know, we had originally done RoboCop as an episode.
Yeah.
But due to a technical gaffe, the recording only went bloody messed up. So now Cinema Swirl joins the fine pantheon of most podcasts in having a cursed / lost / never found again episodes. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
It adds to the mythology, I suppose, that there's this episode 8 that went missing, but this is now episode 8.
This is the real episode 8, but there's like a canister, like a film reel, buried in a Hollywood backlog.
I mean, there's everything you said in crystal clear.
If you want an immaculate one-sided account of Kevin's reaction to RoboCop and his reaction to Sam's reaction, but nothing else, then that episode 8 is up your alley. But
we should have released it so that people could do their own cinema swirl. Just try and join in.
But I've not seen that film, mate. For fuck's sake, I'm great, just in time for the holidays.
Oh.
Well, I like to think, because it's a lost episode, bathed in mystery. Sometime in the future when you're like a Hollywood executive who's gotten to the top of the producing game, through ill means, some young kid and their kid brother or sister is going to dig that up and have the dirt on you, and you'll
well, they'll see that I quite enjoyed RoboCop.
Exactly, and your web of lies and deceit will come tumbling down as all is revealed. So basically, long story short, I think it could be saved. Could it?
Kind of, maybe.
I think we reckon the time it would take to fix it, to individually try and boost and clean up all of Sam's audio.
It's quicker to do a whole new episode.
I could just forget about it. And it's a shame because this happened with the Attitude Era podcast before. We've had bits mess up and lost bits and bobs. You always re-record. But
the nature of this podcast.
The nature of this class. I was like, but now Sam's seen that film.
Yeah.
So it's a cautionary tale, I suppose.
We could have lied to you.
We could have.
Oh, what's going on here?
RoboCop. What is that? Some sort of cop named Robert? I mean, I think you're a wonderful performer and a heck of a human being, Sam. But
shucks.
I don't know if you'd have it in you.
If I have the acting chops to pull off.
I mean, that's a full-blown charade.
Yeah.
I mean, the episode went over an hour. It would have been a sham. I mean,
Some conspiracy theorists saying that's what I've been doing this whole time, Kevin.
Is there a vocal minority?
I think there were like 2 or 3 people going, I don't believe that man hasn't seen those films.
There's no way, But, so here we are. We're doing Jaws now.
Yep.
Jaws, which was number 2, so by Hartigan's Law, as we established way back in episode 4 or 5 or whatever.
One of these episodes.
If it gets voted in twice, it means it's going to be done. So we thought, we might as well do this one anyway. Yeah. Jaws is something which people wanted to do for a long
I think people, when we announced our technical cock-up, our gaff, people say, oh, well, that's a shame, but I do want to see you or listen to you review Jaws.
So, every cloud.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we planned it all along. No, we didn't plan it all along.
We really didn't. It was a good episode.
It was a fucking lovely episode. Yeah. Oh, man. And Sam had all kinds of things to say about RoboCop. But, it's something that down the line, if some plucky young person helps out, we may get it fixed. Whatever.
No, Kevin, it was the best episode of Cinema Swirl that has ever been recorded. It's a shame you won't hear it. But
it's
comedy gold, but just missing forever now.
Jaws. Have you heard about this one before? Come on. How have you not fucking seen Jaws?
It's my mum's fave, as she was telling me on the phone when she was asking me, like...
Really?
Which one are you doing now? Jaws. Like, oh, that's my fave.
Her favourite film?
She said favourite, but I just... like
her favourite film?
Oh, well, she didn't clarify.
It's her favourite thing in the world. Yeah. Well, I know what you can get her for Christmas now, man. Yeah. I'm not, get her Jaws. I mean,
DVD, not Blu-ray.
So is this one of these instances that when you were growing up, your mum was like, "Oh, Jaws is the best. How have you not seen Jaws?"
No, I don't remember her kind of going on about Jaws. I know about Jaws.
Hey, I love you, football.
I love you, England.
It's a new rule of thumb here at Cinema Swirl. If singing happens for more than 5 seconds, it will become a footy chant at the end of it. It's a beautiful game. But yeah, Jaws, you know the theme then?
What is It's that, isn't it?
Sorry, can you do that again?
It's the slow build. And the shark eats something.
So, who is the shark then? I mean,
who is he? As a guy.
Do you know what do you know about the shark?
Crazy shark.
What's going on here in this?
I'm guessing the shark eats people. I know the shark eats people. Of course he does.
Well, that's what sharks do.
There's the lady kicking her legs.
Yeah.
And everyone on the...
Sorry, Sam. It's a podcast.
I know it's a podcast.
Sam's doing the little wiggly thing with his legs to indicate that she's...
Not with my legs.
Sorry, with his hand legs, a.k.a. fingers, to indicate a lady,
Swimming. Treading water. And then the shark comes along and has a bite on her, I think. That's the poster, isn't it?
And obviously the shark has the titular jaws in its mouth.
Yeah. It's got...
Do you think that what's
two
the shark's,
mighty jaws?
What's the shark's name? Do you know or
Jaws?
Oh, you know that the shark is Jaws then, or you just
no? I'm just
it is Jaws.
I assume it's not like they've named the film after. I don't know. Yeah, shark should be called Jaws.
Is that a good? I mean,
it's a good name for a shark.
Is it? I mean, look at that shark of war. Look at them Jaws.
Yeah. Well, it's not a great name, but it's stuck.
Yeah. Okay. What about teeth?
Teeth.
Giant mouth.
Yeah,
big, blooming huge shark.
Big bastard.
So this one, do you remember it being on? Because this is like a perennial Saturday evening, Sunday evening movie. It's always on ITV. All that. Never remotely crossed your mind to check out Jaws.
No. I think I've seen like clips of it because it's always like on those kind of like best movie moments and things like that.
No, like a thing where it's a countdown and the countdown is a flickering film reel going by really fast and then the number comes up.
And then there's talking heads of like...
Peter Kay goes on about how fucking great movies are or whatever.
Stuart McConey.
There's a famous quote from this movie. Deadly famous. Do you know what it is?
They're going to need a bigger bloody boat, aren't they?
Hey! How do you know that?
Because there's a bit where... when do they say it?
They say it in Jaws.
In the film Jaws.
Yeah.
The bits I know to visually see in my head are the lady with the legs.
Yeah.
And also a bit of the man on the boat and it's really stormy and he's chucking some fish into the sea or something.
Mate, there's already fish in the sea.
Why is he chucking fish into the sea?
Existential crisis. Why does the fisherman throw fish into the sea? Surely that's counterintuitive to this whole existence.
He's looking away and then a shark and then he looks back or something.
Do you know how many Jaws movies there are? There's like 5 or 6.
Are there?
Yeah.
Spielberg, isn't it?
Yes. This is actually our first Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Spielberg. I mean, for me as a kid, I was like, he was an accepted authority figure in films because in like Animaniacs and, Tiny Toon Adventures, they'd always point and say, oh, there's Steven Spielberg, because he was executive producer. They'd always use him for like little gags and stuff, just him showing up going, oh, I'm making millions of dollars. Have you seen any Spielberg movies? Other than Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal fucking Skull?
What? Jonesy. What?
Yeah, we figured that one out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much on Twitter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One point is that. Yeah, that would be what we mentioned on the... Oh, we mentioned some of these things on the...
That's true. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that,
they'll sneak in.
Maybe
snip.
Either we'll sneak him in, or if the episode does get eventually saved, we'll get to hear him again because we did a fucking awesome Pepsi swirl as well. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I won't tell you what it was in case it ever comes back.
Yeah,
but it was a good swirl.
It was a damn good swirl.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so many glugs.
Steven Spielberg.
What films has he done? What are his main ones?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
E.T.?
E.T. I've not seen E.T.
You've not seen... I remember sending you a list and you saying you'd seen E.T.
Right, the thing about E.T. is it's one of those things where I think I know enough about E.T. that it probably wouldn't be fun for me to watch it.
What do you know about E.T.?
Well, this was at the very start of Cinema Swirl when we were kind of hashing out what films to do. And we didn't really know where we were going with this. There's M&M's, Phone Home, Going on the Bike in the Sky.
Mate, that's basically just an episode done. Let's call it quits. Like, 5 glugs, heard it here first. Like,
yeah. No, I've not seen E.T. from
Have you seen Schindler's List?
Yes.
Ah.
For school, I think.
That's such a school movie, isn't it? He did AI.
I think I have seen that.
Have you?
Yeah, when I was too young to really get what it was. Because that was
Do you know it's one of Mark Kermode's favourite movies?
Fucking Kermode.
Seriously, he is. It was a movie that got savaged when it came out, and he's done all these things going. It actually is a really brilliant movie, and going on like he does.
Stanley Kubrick.
Like he's better than us.
Did Stanley Kubrick start it?
Yeah, it was his dream project basically.
And then he could never do it, and then Steven
And
Spielberg.
then Spielberg
I'll do it.
I'll put Jude Law on that.
Did Steven Spielberg do The Terminal?
Yes.
The Tom Hanks film.
You've seen The Terminal.
I've seen The Terminal. I really love The Terminal.
Where did you see The Terminal?
I think I saw it.
You see, there's 2 places you can see that movie.
Yeah.
One is in a
Sky movie.
I was going to say, one is in a grandparents' house with the sound all turned down as you're eating tea and biscuits, and the other one is on an actual airplane. Those are the only 2 places you can see that thing.
I think I've watched it a couple of times. I really enjoyed it.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
So
that's the Spielberg movie that I've watched the most.
The Spielberg movie you've watched the most
is
that you haven't been forced to is The Terminal, which is widely regarded as his worst fucking film.
What else has he done?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Not seen that.
And of course Indiana Jones as well.
I've seen Crystal Skull.
Yeah, it's not really.
I've seen the best one.
He didn't win the hearts and minds.
No.
Of the, I mean, you did with the sexy Russian lady. Obviously, he won your heart and penis, and maybe your balls too.
Maybe
with that one, but certainly didn't win any hearts and minds with Crystal Skull.
With the fans.
One I should probably ask.
Yep.
Given that there's been some sly nods in the past to me doing zoology, very subtle, you wouldn't even notice that I've done it. What do you know anything about? I love sharks. You see, and I'm wondering if you know anything about sharks, because this movie Jaws, obviously when it came out, a couple of things. First of all, it was until our friend Star Wars came along, it was the most successful movie in the cinema ever. So it was a big old blockbuster.
And back then, no one had heard of sharks.
But back then, sharks were nothing but a notebook in Steven Spielberg's locker.
Yeah.
That's all they were.
This was really the breakout movie for sharks.
It was just an idea on a napkin he had at a party. There was some good wine, you know. So, but it really did drive home. It was like Alfred Hitchcock with the birds, I guess. It made people scared on a wide scale.
I'm proper scared of birds.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Are you scared of sharks? I mean, it's
obviously.
Are you?
Well, I don't want to get eaten by a shark.
But I mean, there's having a rational fear of something and then being afraid.
I think that's a very rational fear. I think so. Sharks are scary.
Well, you say rational fear.
They'll bite you to bits
in landlocked Lincoln in the fucking wrong climate for sharks. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a rational fear.
I'm not in trouble from sharks, but no.
Unless a jacuzzi comes in a giant truck.
If I was near a shark in the water, I'd be scared, obviously.
Yeah.
But to look at a shark, I'm not like, I can't take it away.
In an aquarium, would you knock on the glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I probably wouldn't knock on the glass. I'd just look at it and it'd be a bit like, whoa, hey, there it is.
Yeah.
But I don't like sea creatures mostly.
Yeah, I've proven this before with it. You're looking at the giant isopod and stuff like that. Well, sharks are just, I don't know, they're damn interesting.
They're some of the nicer looking fish things.
You think?
Yeah.
I think they're bloody hideous.
Yeah, they're alright.
They've got no bones. They're all cartilage, their entire skeleton.
This Jaws thing is a lie. It's not got any. It's got a weird.
Well, they've been made out of cartilage, yeah. Also, laying on some zoology facts here.
Yeah.
Because I think even
lay them on me.
When you hear this stuff, it makes a shark stop being kind of like, oh, that's neat to no, that's just fucking weird. Yeah. And when something's just too weird, you're like, no, that's not for me.
And they get creepy.
Its body is 80% water, basically. Okay. So, and it's just held together by this weird protein So you can imagine that a giant shark is basically like a large piece of gel that's been solidified and wired to kill you.
It's a weird water balloon just...
Sharks can't have twins and can't have twins because one will eat the other in the womb always.
Okay.
Which is called inter-utero cannibalism.
Lovely.
Which is also the name
what
of
a band
Raging
they were.
Waters. I was just going to say, when we spit from Raging Waters and you go real hard, you hit the liquor and the eyeliner real hard and you become inter-utero cannibalism. You know. Other one as well, a shark is several times they've been noted to give virgin births. Parthenogenesis.
Okay.
Sharks have been kept in isolation for ages. Female shark all of a sudden gives birth.
There's been a Jesus shark.
Basically.
Oh.
So I think those all facts kind of couple together.
That's cool. Is that coming up in Jaws?
Not really, no. Okay. It would be like if they think that, we'll trap it and, it won't allow it to mate. And then it's like, there's another blooming shark in there.
I'm not scared of that shark. It's all bloody cartilage and water.
Mate, get Richard Dreyfuss in. It's only bloody respawned. Well, this is a big Hollywood blockbuster we got to settle and get our teeth into. Hey!
Yeah. Who's in it?
Who's in it? Richard Dreyfuss is the main one, I would say.
Okay.
I mean, they're classic Hollywood men of action.
Right.
This was in the 70s. So, a lot of them, I don't know if they're the faces that will be familiar to your ear. I mean, other than Jaws, I don't want to tell you.
That is a big one.
Most of the people in this movie, your only point of reference would have been Jaws.
Okay. There are a bunch of Mark Hamills is what's going on.
More or less, yeah. So are you excited to watch Jaws?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it's going to be a scary movie?
I assume so. Well, we haven't really talked about what I think the plot is.
Well, what do you think? I mean, what do you think the plot is?
We're just like, a shark is going to bite some people.
I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate things, mate. Like,
there's a big bitey shark going around.
There's a big bitey shark going around. This is Spielberg pitching this now back in the day. There's a big bitey shark going around.
I think there's some men on a boat that needs to be bigger.
Okay.
I don't know why they're on the boat. Fishing. They're probably fishing.
So you don't think they're out there looking for a shark?
Are they trying to get the shark?
I don't know. They could just be out there needing a bigger boat, like. And why are they throwing fish back in the sea?
I don't know. Did that actually happen?
What?
Well, we'll see.
You'll see.
Just throwing fish.
Mate, I tell you what it is. It's EU bloody fish quota's gone mad.
If they're trying to get the shark.
It's old Red Ed again.
That would be why they're... That doesn't work there.
Red Ed, he's there. I said, I caught this for me supper. Old bloody Red Ed and Cameron, a lot of them. Throw it back in the sea.
Yep.
Throw it back into Brussels. Bloody Red Ed.
Yeah, so they're trying to get a shark.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what happens. The shark kills a woman.
Okay. Well, that's where your point of reference is, yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, someone better get that shark.
Get some men on a boat that's not too big.
And then some men are like, we'll get the shark. And then they go out on their boat being like, I can get a shark. It's just a fish and we're men. And then they get their comeuppance and the shark causes them a whole heap of trouble.
So that's what I mean, that is basically...
That is my synopsis.
Honestly,
what I think Jaws is going to be.
This is probably the most accurate synopsis you've given.
Okay.
You just missed it a little bit at the start, but I mean, you can very much...
Does something happen before the lady gets eaten?
Yeah, other people get eaten. It's not like a case that this shark kills one person and they're like, mobilize the shark killers.
It's a murder mystery.
It's a midsummer mystery. Poirot has to go down and find out who this bastard shark is eating.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Thrills and spills.
Thrills and spills.
Alright, this movie, just so you know, Alien was described as being Jaws in space when it was reviewed when it first came out. So obviously, we've done this one a bit backwards. So this for you.
Film description.
It's like, they're so wrong. You know the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Just on a boat in space with a shark.
It's a shark. You know the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah.
You know what the Daily Mail gave it for their review? It's like Blade Runner meets Star Wars. It's not. It's absolutely not. But yeah, point being, it may help you then, while watching this movie, to view it as being retroactive alien on a boat in Earth, in the watery bit.
Yeah.
So, if that helps.
That's my favourite Smith song.
I know, it's serious. Anyway, we better go watch this. Let's go do a cinema swirl. Hey!
I love you, Jaws.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that movie in, I'd say, 10 years. I was watching it, I was thinking, when was the last time I saw that? And it was, yeah.
I haven't seen it in 23. So
Yeah, you've never seen it, but it'd been a long time since I'd seen it. But good God in heaven, I think, I'd say I could tell you enjoy that one anyway.
That was a grade A belter of a movie.
That was
Bloody
fucking
hell.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you need to be reminded, I guess, that them Hollywood classics are truly that.
We watched it in Blu-ray quality.
We did, and it looked fucking marvelous. It's
beautiful.
remind ourselves several times that this was a movie made in the 70s.
Yeah.
Looks very good.
In the swinging 70s.
The swinging 70s. During the movie, you were asking me if this was a case of, George Lucas style digital technology.
There were a few things where I thought, has that been touched up a bit? But no.
It's funny because they use animatronics for most of the shark. And originally there was going to be a lot more, but it's because of the time, I guess. It didn't work very well. So they ended up scrapping a lot of the planned scenes.
Okay, so that was like a happy accident because that's worked really well.
Because you get the whole minimalist thing of you barely see Jaws, and when you see him,
kind of all the classic horror thing is that you don't see the thing and you think,
yeah, exactly. Less is more. Same with Alien, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Spielberg wasn't doing that on purpose.
No, I mean it just kind of happened to nicely fit in with what the tools that were to hand.
There was only one shot of the shark that I thought looked a bit rubbish.
I think that
such
was
a tiny little shot,
and it was. Well, I think it was one of those ones because you expected the shark at that point to appear.
Yeah.
But I am happy to confirm every surprise sighting of Jaws in this movie elicited a big ah.
It's scary.
It actually
it's intense.
Yeah, it does get you.
And you heard me.
Yeah, I did.
Whooping and hollering and making all kinds of noise over there.
I didn't think Jaws would be the movie that scared you the most, but it certainly got the most jumps out of you.
It got, It was like, whoa! It's more
all
like
unsettling.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got spooked good and proper in this one.
Yeah.
Jaws, of course, opening with hippies smoking their jazz cigarettes.
Cut to the fucking hippie. There's like a cool title that looks good, and then the sea being gross. And then cut straight to some fucking hippies, and I was like,
Well, it's the 70s, so obviously middle class America wants to see these hippies get chewed up and eaten for supper,
exactly.
mate. Let's go swimming.
Where are we going? Swimming? I'm not drunk. I can swim. I just can't walk or dress myself.
All right, Ireland water safety is a big fucking deal.
Okay.
Two big things. When you're in school, you get taught loads about water safety and farm safety. And basically, any open body of water or open body of slurry, whichever seems to be closest to you, is a death trap for a child between the ages of 5 and 9.
Field of sheep.
This lad here,
yeah,
he's well fucked. He's going playing in the farm after school and being like, no, it's grand. I can jump over these cattle. You can't.
Can't,
mate. The entire opening of this movie just is kind of like don't go out swimming if there's sharks.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dick. Can you swim?
Yeah, I can swim.
A bit of a random question.
I don't know why I felt insulted by that. It's fine to not.
Of course I can swim. Never would have assumed you could swim, really. Or...
What?
I don't know. Were you brought up to be a swimmer? Like,
they teach you to swim at school, and
do they?
Before that, my dad used to take me to the swimming pool. Me and my brother, we used to get Seabrook crisps from the vending machine afterwards.
Clearly, they made the
which are crisps that only exist in swimming pool vending machines.
So if you're ever like trapped out at sea, swimming in the ocean, you're just gonna start thinking about crisps.
Yeah, I'll start getting a craving for Seabrook.
And it's that environmental instinct that will drive Sam to survival.
Yeah.
A lady gets eaten very early on in this one.
Yeah, she gets sharked pretty quick.
But yeah, this movie has its moments of gore, and it has the moments where it pulls away, and it kind of plays to that quite a bit.
There's something to be said for being a drunkard at this point, because the drunk lad's just fallen asleep on the shore.
He wakes up grand looking fine. All poignant on the beach. Sober lady gets eaten,
exactly.
The main character we're introduced to, of course, which is Brody.
Yep.
Chief, he's called out, to which you went, cheese?
Cheese?
I swear to God, like, what?
I misheard his wife saying chief is cheese.
Are you like mad hungry at the moment? Or?
I don't know. Maybe.
Cheese on the brain, like.
Yeah. You had a KFC earlier, and I was quite envious.
You did. You had greedy eyes, hungry eyes almost. But he's chief of police in this shitty little island.
Cheese of police.
The cheese of police here in Amity Island, Whereas he's informed the main problem at the moment is those damn kids carrotying the picket fences.
I want to see that movie.
Where Richard Dreyfuss gets to the end of...
these kids, these 9-year-old kids from
Karate.
the karate club, karateing.
I think the exact same thing happened in SpongeBob SquarePants once. I could be wrong, but basically we find out there's been a shark attack. This lady has been eaten. Everyone's concerned. Yeah. So it's a bit of a race to close the beach down. And we find out that, of course, Brody is a New York cop, fish out of water in this sleepy small town.
Amity. That's a little out of tune Elliott Smith reference for anyone at home.
For fucking, you go Wes Anderson podcast over here.
Well, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that one later. The mayor we're introduced to in this whole, we basically find out everyone who's not Richard Dreyfuss in this movie is fucking useless.
Yeah.
For the most part, in the early parts anyway.
Yeah.
All of the deputies are crap. The mayor he starts off being like, oh, well, he's an ineffective mayor. And then he's just pure evil.
Who are the two characters having a conversation in the middle of a big parade?
There was the mayor was having a shark attack. It's the 4th of July, and of course, no one wants the beach to be shut down due to shark attacks. So they're like, it's probably a boat.
And the mayor, the
so
thing
evil.
I noticed about him is he consistently wears shit suits.
He's got the blazer with the anchors on it.
Yeah.
And then he's got a few other that make him look a cross between Alan Partridge and Vince McMahon. He's
a terrible look.
A terrible look. And he kind of looks like, I don't know, a well-fed Burger King-esque David Lynch. You know, he's got a real sellout vibe from this sort.
He's a funny-looking man.
He is, and he provides a nice kind of counterbalance to the no shit-taking Brody. Yeah. Brody wants to shut down the beach. Ain't gonna happen because it's 4th of July. Yep. And we cut to the beach where there's loads of people splashing around, having a good time, and doing all the things which we were taught in water safety class not to do.
Having beach fun.
Look, you didn't even know this one. Going out on one of those inflatable mattresses.
Yeah.
That's a death trap.
It's a bloody laugh, mate, yeah?
In the video we watched...
Don't be such a pussy.
In the video we watched, it was specifically an English lad. This big, fat 4-year-old lad. He slithers himself onto this rubber mattress. He's like, I'm gonna go have a siesta, mate. And then half an hour later, he's out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Ray Winston.
And people are like, oh, where's Dad? Forget him. He's dead now. He's gone. So, water safety obviously plays a big part in this. Yeah. And this, I think, really got you, which is the kids out in the water. And all of a sudden, it's like, shark. And the kid just gets eaten. And it's like fountains of blood. And it's all bubbles. And it's like...
fucking kid dies. It's just so like... Ugh. Yeah, that's where it's good. Oh, actually, before that, I think when they're on the beach and they were going to close it down, weren't they?
Yeah. They're having a chat.
And they didn't, because the mayor was like...
So Brody's just sitting there looking all intense on the beach.
And then Harry comes up to him.
Yeah.
And has a look at, I know about you, Chief. And then Chief says, that's some bad hat, Harry. What is that from?
Don't know.
That's a thing. That's definitely a thing.
Some bad
from
hat,
something.
Harry.
Some bad hat, Harry.
Well, that's a tweet in at Cinema Swirl.
I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to let you tweet it in.
Sam Chapman's point of reference. Do follow Cinema Swirl.
And some bad hat, Harry.
Some bad hat,
what
Harry.
Is
it Indiana Jones 4 again? Possibly. Was Spielberg dipping into the font with such rich...
The shark kills his fucking child.
Yeah, we were several minutes past the child being dead, and you were like, no.
They killed a kid.
Nah, they can't.
I thought the kid would be alright or something.
Basically,
he'd be missing a leg.
He eats the kid up.
But yeah, I mean, and Martin's been obviously very conflicted about letting the beach be open, and this is really like a shock to the system, because you get that very cool... zoom.
Oh yeah, if it goes straight up to him, yeah.
Which I think I seem to remember the way you do that, because it kind of zooms in, but there's not.
Is a crash zoom the right term for that?
Kind of, but there's not enough movement. It's zooming in while also moving the camera back.
Right,
so
it's
this weird thing where the background goes weird, and that's used in loads of stuff.
It looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's used sparingly for it to be cool. If a film does that loads, you're like, oh, come on. But that shot,
it's this
perfect
shot in the movie,
that horrible.
It's good to see another movie, I suppose, up there with The Shining with Kubrick, to see a movie where there's definitely like shots, and it's not just the regular presentation. You can tell there's actually extra thought, and how things are shot actually impacts the movie, which is always nice.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's why we mentioned Wes Anderson earlier, because I was thinking he must definitely have loved this movie, because a lot of it smacks of what he does now. Some of the way the shots and the conversations occur in one single shot, and people kind of moving in and out, and people in the background.
If Wes Anderson fans get a whiff of you comparing him to
the mise en scène,
comparing him to the same man who brought us AI, they'll
be upset. But no, Jaws is a classic, isn't it?
No, that's true. You're right. I
probably
definitely
grew up watching that.
I can notice similarities. I'm hardly an expert on either of the gents, so I'd back you on that one.
Yeah.
So we get a bounty placed on the shark, and the beaches are going to be closed, but just for a day. 24 hours they're going to be shut for.
That's like 3 weeks.
Don't you love it when there's a grumbly crowd and something,
and you can pick one sentence
clearly, 24 hours? That's like 3 weeks. Do you know how many times I jack off in 24 hours? I love it. It's brilliant. So we get introduced to Quinn. Quinn is basically our archetypical groundskeeper Willie / mysterious Irish / Welsh / I don't know, some poor country.
Yeah.
He'll find him for 3. He'll catch him and kill him for 10. I love it. Absolutely. Quinn is just such a fucking classic character.
He's a creepy bastard though, isn't he?
And he's basically like, he is a trope in of himself now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mysterious old wizened guy with a history who knows how to kill the thing.
Yeah,
and will probably
when
die.
Everyone's kind of yelling and talking, someone who kind of draws attention to stuff. He's scratching down on the
chalkboard, with a very accurate drawing of Jaws.
Yeah,
with chalk.
He's like, if you want to kill this bird, I'm like, first off, mate, that's a shark.
Now, putting our zoologist hat on once again for a moment, but a bird and a shark are tentatively connected at best. We cut to Brody, who's all tense up at home. His kids are playing around the boat, and he's like, get out of the water! And it's like, oh, it's his birthday. He doesn't know the boating regulations.
He's got very New York kids, which is fun, because is he from New York?
He is from New York, yeah.
Right, and he's kind of losing the accent, but his kids have definitely got this kind of...
Oh, Dad! Give me the fucking keys to the boat, huh?
I'm going in the boat.
Oh, I'm sailing here.
I'm trying to beat off in here.
Lady, I can't get into second gear. It's a fucking boat. So some bright sparks decide they're going to go and catch that mean old fish. Going fishing with the wife's roast.
Oh, God. So we see Martin reading a book of sharks.
Oh, yeah, he's flicking through his book, like.
Yeah, because they didn't have Wikipedia in those days.
They didn't even have fucking Encarta back then, like.
Shut a book.
Imagine if he's clicking on Encarta, like, Encarta, tell me about sharks. Like.
Some of these sharks have lived for 1,000, 2,000 years. No.
I mean, from what I know, from the week module...
You're a zoologist.
I did a solid week and a half on sharks. So, I mean, I remember... I've heard hundreds. Thousands I've not heard. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah.
I mean... Hey, it's an animal that has virgin births. I'm open to being surprised by it, like. But, yeah, if you do know if a shark lives for over 1,000 years, do, of course, again, tweet in. Jaws eats the roast and ruins the pier. It's basically like any time I have Sunday lunch around yours, mate. Like, oh, he's eating the roast.
Better get something. That's my wife's roast.
My wife's roast.
Fucking idiots.
Everyone knows.
I'll just put a dinner on the end of a line and see if I get
I wish he had plated it up and it was all like steaming and perfect.
What happened to me roast? Well, I got you a fish.
I got you a giant shark instead.
It's not a swap shop.
No, it doesn't work that way, mate. You can't just it's not an item quest for a trade. No. So the plebs want in on the action. Down on the docks, every Tom, Dick and Harry with a pointed stick and a dinghy wants to go out and claim that $10,000.
Yeah, at the start of the scene where everyone's going to run out of the thing, there's a really long shot of a man standing there looking ridiculous with a pipe.
Very pleased with himself.
Looking extremely pleased with himself.
He had a few messages in his arm.
He hangs on him for a while and then he just walks off, and that's the last you see of this happy man.
I want a gif of that.
So that's kind of the Wes Anderson-y thing. Just these little weird oddballs just turning up just to look interesting.
Yeah.
And then go away just to kind of show that Amity is kind of
it's an odd place.
Silly
You do, it's not laid on thick, but you do kind of get the sense that, like, the people are a bit strange and it is an isolated place. But
they're all a bunch of, and I quote, silly bastards.
So we get introduced to resident shark expert. It's Matt Hooper.
Oh, yeah.
Who is inadvertently, time has basically caught up on him, and a man who was probably cast and costumed to look unstylish basically looks like he should have a 2-page spread in the NME this month.
Yeah, it's really weird. I noticed that, like, if we were watching this film maybe 5 or 10 years ago, like, that guy looks so 70s and weird.
Well, all his denim with his
now it's
Canadian
like,
tuxedo, like.
That looks pretty hip.
I mean, give him an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Shine a spotlight on him and have him sing mopey songs about it.
He could stand up there with Mumford and Sons and no one would notice.
David Cameron's wife be up there shaking and jiving like the rest of them. Oh, I love those Mumford and Sons. The plebs catch a shark.
Yep.
He hasn't even got jaws, mate.
Yeah, but the you know what, Kevin? I'd say that shark is a bit of a red herring.
Hey,
welcome back to Cinema Swirl.
Hey guys, and if you do want to leave a rating or review on iTunes, it is always, of course, greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
So we got Matt Hooper doing his trademark science spiel, talking about the bite radius of the shark, because he's obviously examined the other corpse, saying that it doesn't match up. And as he's giving this beautiful little speech, kind of saying it's a 100 chance, and just saying the mayor just kind of like slowly comes into focus. He like hovers in, and I've never seen someone look so displeased.
He's got such a sour face during this conversation.
It gets more sour as it goes. I love it.
He stays there for way too long. When is it Matt Hooper? He's talking about the shark and how its mouth should be bigger.
Yeah,
there's a lad with all the people who caught it, just like, no, it's a big mouth. Look at it. Look how big it is.
Idiots. We've caught a shark. Give us our money.
Look at it. It's massive.
A horrible scene, of course, now where Brody's cover-up, well, alleged cover-up of them not telling him about someone being killed by a shark.
Yeah,
it's called out as
the shark's parents come to mourn.
Yeah, the shark's parents, who seems to be, I don't know, the real strict one from Harry Potter, goes over and slaps him across the face. To which you decried, I'm glad your son is dead.
No, well, that was out of context. I can't remember the context.
It's out of context for you.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I can't remember. I think I was in a strange giddy mood.
You were very giddy. You know, some sharks were caught. A child was eaten. We all said things.
We all got too emotional.
Yeah.
And you know, she was being really mean to Marty Martin.
Yeah, because like as you aptly pointed out, her son had died.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been in the water.
Cut back to a mildly creepy scene where I'm glad it was confirmed that it was his son, because when he's just there, Brody with this little kid making faces, then goes, "Give us a kiss." Why? Because I need it.
Yeah, that was a sweet scene.
It was, but I for a second I didn't know that was his kid.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten. And I was like,
just some lad.
What is it, Doc Brown going on over here again, you know? He gets visited, a bit of a dinner date.
By only bloody Hooper.
Who brings 2 bottles of wine.
Matt the Hooper.
Alright, if you are a dinner guest and you bring 2 bottles of wine to a dinner function, you know what you are? Fucking good guess, mate. Like,
he's such a charming man in this scene. He's really like funny and charming, and he's wearing a suit, and he looks a bit like a young Harold Shipman, which is a shame.
He does. He looks like he'd be a nice. I'd love to have him around to talk shark facts.
Yeah,
and drink 2 bottles of wine.
Funny and charming and nice. I was taken in by him.
Yeah. Don't you love it when like the characters who are meant to be nerds are just like deliberately more charming? Yeah. Steven Spielberg going, "Look, I've got glasses and I'm nerdy. I'm interesting too."
Oh yeah, I've never thought.
It's clearly him. Like, who would have thought that smart bookish type was actually very interesting? Yeah. We should talk to him more. You know,
Martin pouring a pint of wine.
Yeah, right. If you're a dinner host and you pour a pint of wine, you're a naughty host. You've outed your own alcoholism there, so boo on you.
Even I know that's wrong, and I'm a fool. So
yeah, clearly. Yeah. I mean, the only wine you have is black and carbonated, and it's called Pepsi Max, and isn't wine at all. Really, when you think about it, it's not wine. What? It's not wine.
But I brought that to your dinner party.
You brought 2 bottles of it. Brody is shook, obviously, by the allegations and the impending disaster with the 4th of July and no one cooperating with him. He decides he's going to go out and start looking for the shark now with Hooper.
Yep.
Asks why he's going to go out and do that. And he says, "I'm the chief of police. I can do anything. Except pour an appropriate amount of wine at a dinner party. Eh, Brody? Huh?
Boom.
Hey, boom. Taking down a peg, yeah?
They cut open the old shark, don't they?
Yeah.
The red herring
full
shark.
of junk.
Full of a license plate.
And
an old boot and a shopping trolley.
What is this? They caught a goat, not a fucking shark. Boat trip!
Yay!
Yeah, boat trip.
Yeah.
They found an abandoned boat, which was from one of the guys who went out. They went searching around it. Hooper goes under the water, and again, it's kind of like, yeah, a boat trip. Let's go see what's what. Let's gather our bearings.
2 lads on a boat. Let's
Yeah.
Hey.
And all of a sudden, just a dead corpse floats past.
That one genuine. That I was properly like,
a
scared.
dead body.
I didn't like that with things coming out of its eye.
It's again like Steven Spielberg, master of suspense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought, really.
Oh, Stephen Hitchcock over there.
Stephen Hitchcock, indeed. So the boat trip proved to be inconclusive.
They didn't bring back the tooth.
They didn't bring back the tooth with which this boat was eaten.
Hooper got scared of a dead man and dropped the tooth.
He dropped the tooth like a maroon.
Coward.
And then the mayor's like, oh, well, if you haven't got the tooth, guess we can't cancel anything, you know?
I guess 4th of July will have to continue.
God, 4th of July. Is there a party on or something, mate?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, just wait till the 5th, guys. Come on.
Yeah, wait till St. Swithin's Day like the rest of us, mate. Like, you've had May Day. You've had your fun. Yeah. All right, settle down. So it's the 4th of July, and it is busy. Several thousand tankers full of fat people come, and they're like, oh, splashing in the water attracts the shark, and everyone's just jumping up and down, splashing loads. And who's live on the scene to report the action? It's Louis Theroux, mate.
Louis Theroux having a weird weekend in Amityville.
People here in Amityville are out swimming, even though there's loads of sharks. What kind of person would do that? Yeah. Do you want to hear my amazing Louis Theroux impression?
Yeah, go on.
Or I will break your Louis Theroux.
You built this
fan.
up, yeah. You said this at the time, and we were like, okay.
I don't think this will translate very well audio-wise, because there's a little face I do as well. Okay. So this is Louis Theroux while someone's told him something inflammatory, like, I hate a certain race of people.
Okay, like when he's dealing with all the Nazis and all that kind of thing. Okay.
Really? So that's a little skeptical look, a knowing skeptical look. I know what you're doing, Louis Theroux.
For everyone at home, that was very good.
Thank you. I'm very happy with that. Underwater camera. We get lots of shots of all the people with their legs kicking around.
All their splashing.
Expertly recreated by you with your fingers earlier on.
So, there we go. Did it again.
Exactly what it is.
Yep.
The mayor is interviewed. He's like, what a fine 4th of July this is. Look at all these people out here not being eaten.
People have said there's a shark, but it's a beautiful day.
Quite frankly, the only shark that's here is the great value and fun to be had on the waterfront.
And that's when you know shit's going to go horribly wrong, when the mayor's like really smug and
happy. Big happy smile on his big red fat face. Like, oh no, whistles, panic, splashing.
Don't splash.
You straight away picked up what this was. You couldn't be caught out at all.
It's pranksters, because you see too much of the shark. You see it too much, and it's like, that's not the actual shark.
Of course, it was a hilarious ruse. It was pranklings all along. Dirty little pranklings in the water pretending to be sharks.
He told me to do it.
What kind of kid would do that?
A horrible child.
Hey, kid, guess what? I heard a couple people been killed. Let's go pretend to be a shark. Yeah, it's a Saturday afternoon well spent, I imagine.
They didn't have YouTube in those days.
Clearly,
what are you going to do?
Didn't even have apps to do that. You know?
Nowadays, you just do that on your app, wouldn't you? You just pretend to be a shark on your phone.
Yeah, they released a Jaws game.
Do they?
Yeah. It's fucking awful as well, apparently. You control Jaws. Then again,
who, of course, is the fucking protagonist?
Who watches this movie and go, I'd love to see how this pans out from the fucking shark's point of view. Come on! Ridiculous. So Jaws actually appears. He's in the bathing pool where everyone thought it was safe.
Wow.
And that's where, of course, Brody's kid is.
Yep.
A poor man gets eaten. His arm falls off and sinks to the bottom of it. Ew.
Yeah,
there's something about freshly bitten flesh floating down with all little bits of fat and all. Yeah, it's gross, isn't it? The boy is put in shock. Yeah. So there'll be no more boating for him.
No.
The only place he's going to be reading those boating regulations is in a coma.
Whoa.
Hope he's got his library cards. So they obviously, now that the fact that his own child is in shock as opposed to someone else's child is being killed, he's like, they hunt down the mayor and they're like, hire Quinn, you stupid asshole.
Yeah.
And the mayor is all, repentant and like, oh, all right, I guess.
My kids were on that beach as well.
Yeah, I bet his kids look exactly like him.
He only gives a shit when his kids are in danger.
He only gives a shit when his money's in danger.
Yeah. Smoking in a hospital.
Yeah, he's smoking in a hospital.
That's the kind of sack of shit that mayor is.
Back in the day when mayors could smoke in hospitals. Yeah. Unbelievable. So, it's a boat trip part 2. Quinn sings.
Quinn's on board.
Quinn is he's all rhymes, songs, and mysterious tales.
I've written here that I find Quinn scarier and creepier than the actual shark.
He is.
Weird dude.
He is kind of like got that kind of on a veiled surface. He's like, oh, that guy's kind of cool, but the prospect of being alone on a boat with him is slightly more scary. You've got a bit of Jack Nicholson in The Shining off him, actually.
Yeah.
You know that he's probably done something wrong, you know?
You think he's quite quirky and cool, and then you think about his actual life and what that's like, and then you go, oh no.
And then you remember what he did to Danny, and you're like, no. So, Brody is, of course, very well prepared for this. He has got a raincoat on him, and you know that he hates boats, he hates water, and it's like, why is this fucking guy getting on a boat, like, you know?
It's sweet.
Well, when they're setting off, it's like, all right, let's go kill this man-eating shark that may or may not be 20 feet long. Whimsy, the music.
And that comes back later as well.
It's several times.
When they're getting the chum line going, it's all happy, isn't it?
All whimsy.
I like saying chum line.
Chum line's a good one, like. Yeah. That's the name of the other band, of course, after our split-off. Like.
Chum line.
Chum line.
Yeah.
You know, radical. They're throwing fish in the water, as you now, of course,
I was right.
You had seen this then. They were throwing fish in the water. Yeah. Quinn's got my favourite scene. Quinn necks a beer, and then Hooper has a small little paper cup of water.
Fucking perfect comic timing. That's almost like, you know, like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
That kind of silly.
Perfect. Sums up a character.
Shot of two people doing something. It's very good.
For the 70s, like.
Visual comedy. Very funny.
It is. We can say now, the dialogue, a lot of this was actually ad-lib.
I was laughing a lot at this.
Particularly with Richard Dreyfuss and whatnot.
Yeah.
They changed the script a lot. They brought in a script editor, and then he basically wrote the whole thing to make it this more kind of conversational style. And there's a lot of improv came from the actors as a result, because apparently there was a lot of drinking going on.
The guy who plays Hooper,
genuinely
very funny.
It's very funny.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know who that is.
I don't think it's... well, again, he's, Jaws is the only point of reference I can have from. But it's interesting, and I know that it is actually like, you can have that bit of humour, but it can still be that kind of very serious, very scary at the same time. Like.
But a lot of the dialogue, like we were talking about the mayor kind of creeping into that conversation.
It's brilliant.
It's really funny.
It doesn't have that real... Because movies at the time, 70s kind of, big blockbuster.
Yeah.
Shark is out to kill us. It's usually the very forced, very kind of, don't worry, I'll save us. You know. This really is...
I didn't expect to laugh as much as I did, because I laughed a lot.
Writing is fucking incredible in this. Absolutely brilliant. Quinn gets a bite on his line, which is like piano wire on it, which is awesome. And of course, Hooper, he only goes and ruins it with his books. He's like, you college, you can't learn that in no book. He's got a point. You can't learn that in a book.
You may be a big yahoo in the lab.
A big yahoo. Yahoo is one of my favourite insults.
A yahoo.
Yahoo is only talked by yo-yo.
Okay,
if you call someone a yo-yo,
Yeah.
Or a pack of chancers, call them a bunch of yo-yos.
Pack of chancers.
Call a pack of chancers. A pack of chancers is also good, yeah.
Boffins is good for
Boffins is great, yeah.
nerds.
Yeah.
You and your bloody boffins in your lab.
Posh boffins with their with their boffin words. Not like you and me, you know.
Yeah, we're out to catch a shark, not a book, yeah?
Jaws literally just appears, and again, it's like, yeah, we're 3/4 into the movie. It's like, blah, every time he comes up.
Yeah.
Fucking scary looking thing. Really, really gross, terrifying.
Yep.
And then, of course, the line.
But yeah, actually, just before that line, I think Martin Brody,
yeah.
Brody, seeing the shark when he sees it, his face is I find that quite funny. He looks like a Muppet, just going because he's got a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, and he expected to slowly fall out of his mouth.
He just moves back slightly.
I bet that's
bloody hell.
That's been gift somewhere, definitely. So they shoot him with all these kind of lines with barrels in it to the attempt to kind of reel him in or track him or whatever.
It's a 25-footer, which I had at Subway the other day. It was bloody delicious.
Way. Mate, you had bloody sore jaws after that, I imagine. So they lose Jaws conveniently as it's turning nighttime.
Follows on Facebook and Twitter.
And of course, in the true maritime spirit of things, once you lose your killer prey, you get drunk and compare wounds.
Yeah.
Hooper's been bitten up a lot, hasn't he?
Oh, he has.
He's got all sorts of. I mean, you and I can recompare. I mean, I've got a big scar on my head, but over my eyebrow.
Oh.
How have you not noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do this properly.
Right.
See this? I got this in a playground as a child.
Oh, a little thing under my chin. You don't see that?
What? An approximation of a beard? Hey.
I'm proud of your beard, aren't you?
I'm very proud of my beard.
Well done.
I'm
well
proud
done
of my
for
beard.
having genetics. Congratulations.
It's all in the shave technique, mate. Yeah.
What?
Okay. It's all in the shave technique.
Right. Well, first off, you don't need to be shaving because then you won't have a beard. You bloody pillock.
But anyway, the comparing the wounds. This is like again, it's another trope type thing. You know,
it's quite
macho,
yeah,
machismo type thing. Because
it's
Richard
weird.
Dreyfuss is kind of
he just looks at this little scar that he's goes, no, I'm not even going to bother.
Appendix, mate. Like, you know, and this is one of my favorite. Just like, I don't know, favorite like speeches from a character ever, where Quinn just starts talking about something innocuous and mentioning his past in the military and stuff like that, and he starts talking about sharks. And saying, we see their eyes, their beady eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. Fucking love that. I want that to be my goddamn ringtone.
Okay. Black eyes like a doll's
black
eyes.
Soulless eyes like a doll's eyes. Fucking beautiful.
Quinn can't pronounce bomb, I discovered.
Yes.
It sounds like bums.
Yeah, when they dropped that nuclear bomb on Hiroshima.
They're going on their bum mission.
Bummerman 64. But anyway, the shark interrupts them as they're having this beautiful sing-song.
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
having a lovely
show
time,
me the
just
way
three
to
lads.
go home. Everybody, I'm tired, I want to bam, no, shark.
3 lines on the shirt, and then Martin's singing a bit too long.
The three of them are there with their mugs is kind of like a we still believe.
We still believe.
They're instead of the final in '98, they're talking about losing the shark not 30 minutes earlier. We still believe because it just happened.
Talking about Jaws, not Gareth Southgate.
So here we go. The shark interrupts and just starts breaking shit up. This boat is sinking. The engine's fucked. What have you got? 3 bros on a broken boy boat.
Yep.
Quinn, of course, then in a moment of madness in the morning, Brody's like, all right, we'll just call for help. We're out of our element. No help. And the similarities to him and Jack Nicholson in The Shining continue.
Yeah,
despise long rave radio.
Yeah. At this point, I kind of realised that this film is not really about the shark. It's more about 3 men and their pride.
3 lions.
3 lions.
Honestly,
their pride.
No, you're right.
It's a pride of lions. I think it's just about how three men deal with.
With again, like a good zombie movie isn't about the zombies. It's about the people. Yeah. I would say this is like probably the most successful movie in that sense. Is that you get hooked in and you're obviously going to go see the movie because you think it's a giant shark eating things up. You see the shark for a grand total of less than a minute.
Really?
Well, I mean, on screen, it's only glimpses here and there. Yeah. Add it all up. It is about, again, this amazing interplay, this dialogue between these guys getting shit-can drunk on a boat.
Yeah, probably.
Awesome.
Brody, right, I've realised exactly what he looks like. He looks like the skateboarder Tony Hawk.
Oh my God, yes.
Dressed as Steve Jobs.
Wow! That is accurate.
He's going to have to do a backside grind on that shot.
I thought he was going to have to half-heartedly introduce Tony Hawk's Air, the fucking piece of shit external board thing that doesn't work.
Oh, he looks so much like Tony Hawk.
He does, because he's even got the black shirt and hey guys, this year for Tony Hawk, we removed all the features.
I couldn't stop thinking of that after that. I noticed it and I was like,
little known fact, obviously. It'll never come up again, but... Okay. Tony Hawk's obviously skateboarding. Sam Chapman, one of his favourite video games of all time, is the oft maligned, overly complicated skate simulator Skate 2.
Yeah, I think Skate 2 is my favourite. I have got on that shelf over there Skate 2 and Skate 3.
They made a Skate 3.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I got Skate 2, right?
Yeah.
I got one achievement, which is the one for turning it on. Okay. Turn on, I was like, here we go. Never played it again.
There's a steep learning curve.
5 minutes. I gave it 5 of the best minutes of my carefree time, and it couldn't pull
my
me.
favourite video game.
It hasn't even got Tony Hawk promoting it, mate.
It
hasn't even got Bam Margera.
No.
It hasn't even got
Bob Burnquist.
Hasn't even got Bam Marinara and his father in it either.
Yeah.
You know, like the great Tony Hawk's games. But no, it is kind of hard in this last few moments, the end of the movie, where you've decided now that the protagonist looks like Tony Hawk's.
Yeah, I can't get it out of my head.
You can't get out of the head. You can't unsee that, you know. I thought he looked vaguely like Adam Bigelow of a podcast fame.
Yeah.
But that's just because...
That's a more niche reference.
That's a more niche reference. If you're not aware, Google Adam. I don't know, you know.
Google him.
Jaws gets punctured and shot, and they tried to reel him in. But as you all know, you can't fish Jaws. I mean, that would be a shit ending to the movie.
Yeah.
They just fished him.
Yeah.
And then, caught him on board. And then, like my dad did when he took me fishing, beat the shit with a brick.
Oh, God. The little vignettes of your childhood are so important. Your dad beating a fish to death with a brick.
My dad took me fishing once, and he could fish to his credit, but it was the fish coming out of the water still being alive. I think my dad assumed that when the fish came out, it'd be like, well, game over, you've got me, you know, and the fight would cease. And there was a great struggle between my father and this like small little halibut or whatever, and he tried to hit it with a stone to like knock it out, and he just crushed it. It's just like a fish going, whoa! Like completely obliterated the thing. I grew up for a long time thinking fishes were very fragile.
That's the thing when it's like a dad and his son, and he's got to like deal with the situation.
All right. Bam, you know. If he scraped it into a can and put some brine over it, it would have been fine, but it wasn't fit for supper, you know. But, similarities between that, I mean, whatever about Quinn, I think my dad would have had a fair go at Jaws here. Yeah. Hit it with a fucking brick, like smushing it. Yeah. Jaws gets punctured, as we said several times, and it just gets really tense because they're dragging him back, but the boat is basically on fire, it's half sunk, it's too heavy. Hooper decides then, now that it's kind of circling them, it's broken free, that his last line of defense, I know, I'll get in my cage and we'll give it an old injection. Yeah. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right?
We haven't mentioned the whimsical music whenever the shark gets barreled.
Whenever it gets barreled and they give chase, it's like... It's way too whimsical.
Yeah. It's still scary.
It just ate someone.
Yeah.
You know? Jaws is down there, of course, with Hooper, who's in the cage, who's got his pointed stick. Yeah. I think this was the most sustained terror we've had on the podcast so far. Definitely on your end, anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
You were jolting for this bad boy. And it was fucking scary, don't get me wrong. Which is Hooper slowly, like, you know, the cage being broken away, the shark headbutting it. He loses the stick. He's got the knife. He's like stabbing at it frantically. It's
horrible.
Fucking hell,
That's hell in a cell right there.
Way.
Yeah. Rage in a cage.
Penis in your anus.
Yeah.
You know, that's straight up.
He was, like, when there was a big opening in the thing, he did kind of turn the other way and bend over.
He did.
Don't do that.
He turned around and, like, presented his bottom like a cat in heat.
Near the big opening when there's a shark.
I wouldn't have...
I don't want my bum bitten by a shark, and I'm willing to put that on the record.
I know, there'd be a brevity to the whole thing.
Contrary to the rumours.
Imagine if you washed up on shore dead, but there was a big bite taken out of your bum, and you just had a cheeky look on your face as you had been killed. It's like, shark bit his bum, you know? Made off with his trunks as well. What? You know? Made him drop his ice cream. Bit him in the bum, you know? Bit
him in the bomb.
Hit him in the bomb, like. Hooper kind of manages to stealth out as the shark gets caught up in the cage. Really thrashing about. A nice mixture then, of course, of real-life shark footage mixed in with, you know, the animatronics. It's pretty fucking seamless. Clever, you know? You don't really, at points when they're underwater anyway, go, that's just a...
I never thought where one ends and the other begins. It's kind of like you just...
For the seven, you know, anytime you watch a movie on Blu-ray, I think because one we might do soon is Ghostbusters, and I'm worried about watching that on Blu-ray because a lot of the effects stand out and look very garish because of the Blu-ray, because of the kind of HD conversion. Everything that's not natural, you just a giant highlighter, you know, put around it. Yeah. But this just looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a testament to probably the editing.
Yes,
more
definitely.
Than the actual effect.
You never see it for long enough
properly around them, so you don't ever have long enough to
to kind of absorb it. It's the same as was with Alien, really. You know, you're not going to see it full blown going, "Hey, how are you going?" You know,
no.
Boo, oogity boogity.
It's not like with Terminator. Not Terminator. It's not like with RoboCop, which unfortunately is lost to the ether.
Ether,
where the what was it? The T or the D?
Oh yeah, the bipedal robot.
Yeah, where it's like
it's meant to be like rah, but it's
claymation.
It's claymation, and you kind of
it looked obviously silly.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's less is more in this one. Jaws manages to make its way up onto the boat as Hooper kind of stealths behind a rock. I assume Hooper's idea was you're going to crawl up, sneak attack behind the shark and quick time event him to like strangle him and take him down quietly so the other guards won't see. But no, he was just hiding. Jaws just like washes up on the boat. And it's like the boat is like sinking, and there's a big shark head going.
Yeah, as the boat's tipping towards the mouth of the shark, and you kind of fall down into it.
Quinn then slides slowly towards it, and you think, he might just make it, and he's kicking and screaming.
I didn't think he was going to die. I had a thought a little bit before this. I thought, hold on a minute, one of these is going to probably die. That hadn't occurred to me before. I thought they're going to get the shark.
I always thought it seems obvious because I've watched Support People, and everyone expects everyone except Richard Dreyfuss to die. They expect him just to be the last man standing. Like these things always go. Where
I didn't even think like that, and normally I would, because like there's the gas canisters that we see a lot. I'm very cynically going, well, that's going to be that's going to be easy. It's easy, but I didn't think that someone was going to die. I don't know why I had to.
And again, in such a vicious manner. This is like right at the end of the movie where you kind of go, right, when people die, we see quick flashes and then maybe a limb fall, some blood, some spurting.
This is gruesome.
He gets fucking chewed up.
Yeah.
And the screams. Oh my god.
Yeah, the first bite, I thought, well, he's kind of dying how he probably wants to die. And then I heard the screams and I thought, no
one wants to die being eaten by a shark.
No.
I mean, yeah, that's got to be right at the bottom of the list of ways you want to die. Like, you know, other than actually literally dying of humiliation somehow, that's the only way that it's worse.
Yeah,
being eaten by a shark, and not even in water as well. So your blood stains are going to get caught in your clothes.
When a shark bites your bum off and then you die from the humiliation of that.
You go so scarlet in the face that your cheeks catch fire, like. So Quinn is eaten. All bets are off. Brody is all alone on the boat, and beautiful shot. He's just climbing up on the mast. You know, he seems completely fucked. Jaws pops up, comes in. He gets the oxygen tank caught in his mouth. You see this one coming, but there's still the tension as the shark is coming towards him.
Quinn's dead. We'll talk about that. Quinn's dead. Horrible. And then Martin just goes into a little bit and closes the door.
Oh yeah, he's like, "Whoa, I ain't going in there.
I've had enough of this."
Puts a lock on the door, like, pulls over the engaged sign, like, "Excuse me, look at the door there, thank you. Yes, the bar is on red.
Yeah, you're not coming in."
He puts it on, and he also puts his foot up against the door as he's taken away. You know, belt and braces kind of public restroom protocol here. But yeah, the shark is coming. He gets the oxygen tank caught in his mouth.
Yep.
You know that's going to play into it. You know from the first moment they go, better load those oxygen tanks on. Careful.
Wait! They're gonna blow!
If a shark was to get one of those caught in their mouth, it'd be a whole mess of trouble if it got shot, say, by a rifle or something. But you know it's going to
very video gamey. Where the shark's got it's basically a car where you shoot the fucking petrol tank.
Except this actually works, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to test it out
We've all seen Mythbusters.
Exactly. You know, we've all seen the Mythbusters special on Jaws as well. Those of us.
Was there one?
Yeah. They did Hollywood Myths. But he's shooting at it. You know he's going to do it, but it's still fucking tense.
Yeah.
You know? And then Jaws appears, mouth open, bam, smile, you son of a bitch.
That's like the only proper...
I love that line.
It's all quite silly, and they talk like people. And then that's like a proper Hollywood action line, which is nice that they get one.
You deserve in a movie with action at least one Schwarzenegger line.
He briefly transforms from Tony Hawk to Bruce Willis there.
Definitely. Yippee-ki-yay, you son of a bitch. You know, it's
Sometimes Hollywood does award you with outrageous fortune.
And the outrageous fortune of this one is possibly the greatest payoff in cinema so far.
Fucking hell.
Alright, imagine the Death Star exploding, but it's made out of meat.
Yeah.
That is what happens here.
You heard me just cheering. Just being like, it's just...
I believe your exact words were, there's no way that payoff could have been any better.
Yeah.
He explodes.
So satisfying.
It's so beautiful. I love it. The one thing it was missing maybe was for Brody to turn around and go, oh, he should have an inflated opinion of himself, but he didn't. He kept it cool. He didn't go with the. He didn't go.
He didn't go sassy.
He didn't go sassy. He didn't go James Bond.
No.
He didn't go Roger Moore on this one. And the most perfect thing about this is that in movies like this, and you were fidgeting because you're kind of like, oh, is it gonna be?
Yeah. Hooper pops up again.
Hooper pops up.
Yeah. They're laughing and they're like, what about Quinn?
Exactly. You thought there was going to be, oh, what about Quinn? Then like a fucking funeral scene, back to hospital. Oh, my son's okay. And go to the mayor going, well, mayor, I hope you learned a valuable lesson about sharks.
Daddy, did you kill the shark?
You're goddamn right I did. Burn love! And then the credits roll. But no, none of that. Hooper resurfaces. They're like, holy fuck, we killed the shark.
The bit where they're swimming away.
Swim off. Lovely shot.
I used to hate water. I can't think why. And I was like, and credits, jokingly, because I didn't think it was going to end there, and then it did.
Beautiful.
Ended perfectly at the right time.
That was a fucking blast.
Wow.
That was so much fun to watch.
Holy shit.
Honestly, all the movies we watched so far, because I was happy people voted for Jaws, but I'm kind of like, it didn't feel like it was a movie of my childhood. Yeah. And it's one of those movies where, like, honestly, it is on such a pedestal. Those ones which are kind of like, oh, one of the most successful Hollywood movies ever, and it's the quintessential blockbuster that's been parodied to death. There's not a massive urge, and people don't really go to you, oh, you haven't seen Jaws, for fuck's sake.
Oh, let's watch Jaws.
But yeah, again, as well, I wouldn't kind of go, hey lads, let's come around and watch Jaws. I hadn't watched it in 10 years.
I will start doing that now.
It's a serious great movie for having people over, and I feel stupid for not having embraced this movie more.
In a very OTP way, this was a great experience.
It was, yeah, definitely.
Two lads watching
Jaws. And then recording a podcast afterwards on the chairs from Mastermind.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of this one, Sam? Live up to expectations?
Exceeded expectations. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be that good. I didn't know it was going to appeal to me as much as it did.
Yeah.
Because it was just funny.
Again,
well written and intense.
It's so like firmly stamped with Steven Spielberg, Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah.
Submitted to the national libraries for being cultural, blah, blah, blah.
It is, but it's also just
funny.
Good. It's good quality.
You don't expect movies like that to have like witty dialogue and kind of nice nuances, and you expect it just to be kind of like a bam, 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 whiz bang kind of thing.
Its legacy, I think, from what I have gleaned from other people talking about it, has been swallowed up by just like, it's a shark and it bites things.
That's
better than that.
The other sequels that came out followed that formula.
Yeah, they thought that was the bit that people liked.
And again, they missed the point entirely. What people liked was, the interplay between the actors.
So I think Jaws was good. It's no Piranha 3D. That's what I say. Jaws was incredible.
I think this looked like you had some of the most fun.
I had a great time.
There was no ifs, there's no buts in this. Because every time I've watched one of these movies as well now, with adult, politically correct eyes, there's always been kind of a, oh, well, you can't do that. Or,
it was all fine.
There was no female characters at all, I guess, bar the wife, But, other than that, it's...
And they killed a kid.
Yeah. But,
early on.
Quite early on. Well, it's...
But that's a brave choice, isn't it? To kill a child. That really,
Yeah, just so you know, Steven Spielberg, Sam found it very brave of you to kill that child. Out of context, that clip will get us in a world of trouble. So, if you're going to, closing thoughts to this, was it excellent? Very excellent? How would you rate it on...
It was very excellent. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit of funny, a little bit of sad.
Damn near perfect.
Damn near perfect.
Damn near perfect.
How have you been able to say that about any movie so far? Really?
No. I wanted to say perfect, then I thought I'm going to have to slip in a damn near just so that, someone goes, but, it's... Kevin, it's a 5-star white film.
Holy shit, 5 stars!
There's no way around that.
Is this the first one that's gotten a full 5?
No, what got 5? Something got 5.
Oh, I think maybe Terminator 2 got 5.
It's not the best rating system.
It's probably not,
Like when the, sorry, I know this is where we normally end. 5-star wipes, you heard it here. But when the RoboCop episodes went down, I was so heartened that people were like, what did he think of RoboCop? it seems so silly to me that people are like, well, what did Sam think about RoboCop?
What's the whole fucking point of the podcast?
I know, but it just,
if they don't care what you think, we haven't got a leg to stand on
it
here.
seems daft that people would care about my opinion. But yeah, no, this was 5-star wipes.
5-star wipes. You heard it here first. Thanks for listening to another episode of Cinema Swirl, and as always, make sure you subscribe on iTunes and help us out immeasurably by leaving a rating or review. You can also find us on SoundCloud and now on Stitcher Radio as well. This episode was produced by me, Kevin, music by Sam Chaplin, and was edited by Joe Graham. Be sure to follow Cinema Swirl on Twitter @Cinema Swirl, and also be sure to check us out on Facebook.com/Cinema Swirl, where you can vote on our upcoming episodes. And if you want to send us in a question or comment for the start of the show, or just get in touch, send your emails to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. And also as well, don't forget to check out on youtube.com/cinemaswirl. We've got animations from some of our favorite parts of the show. Check it out, youtube.com/cinemaswirl.